What's up, y'all? And welcome to the show. I am your host, Avery Thornton, and I want to talk to you today um, about bias in the media. And I really want to break down a video from Zateo. If you guys don't know what Zateo is, it's Mehdi Hasan's outlet after he left MSNBC. Um, yeah, he started his own thing, and it is Zateo, and they do phenomenal work, absolutely phenomenal work. Uh, they call out everything. They call out bullshit in the government. They speak truth to power. His organization is doing real good work, holding, shining a light on what the happenings in Washington D.C. And it's an openly left wing progressive organization. I love everything Mehdi and Zateo is doing. But specifically, I really want to talk about bias in the media. And I've noticed it for a while because our media has a conservative slant if I haven't seen. So if I don't know anything, because it is bad. At the end of the day, this both sides bullshit. This CNN, well, we got to have Anna Kasparian and Scott Jennings, even though Scott Jennings is a fucking idiot. And Anna Kasparian puts belt to ass every time they come in contact with one another. And now we have Barry Weiss over at CNBC, which Mehdi talks about. And this lady is just absolutely destroying everything. They're losing viewers, hemorrhaging money left, right, and center in their quest to be more centrist, aka we need to pull this organization further right because we've had too many Democratic and left wing voices. So now all the people that they've hired are right wing hacks and named in the Epstein files on top of that. So we have a lot of things going on. We already know that Fox News is gone. It's out there. It's insane. All it is a right wing bullshit factory that is meant to sing Trump's praises all day and tomorrow and coddle his ball sack. That's it. We know that. That is all that they do. And now every other media organization since CNBC got bought out by the Ellisons, who are Zionist right wing hacks that love Israel. Yeah, they're pulling it more conservative, and they want it to be like a miniature Fox News. They want it to be no left wing voices. No, the people need to hear right wing hack bullshit. Now, I'm gonna play this video by Mehdi, and he does a better job of breaking it down than I do. And so we're gonna review this video, and then we're gonna talk about it as we go through it and at the end, because I think we really need to. The world really needs to see that, have a light shown on the fact that we have bias in our media, and we need to hold our quote unquote journalists to a higher standard. No, speak truth to power. Quit being bought out by these giant corporations, and then just for a paycheck, I gotta say whatever fucking bullshit that you tell me to say. No, 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 no. You guys can do fucking better. Period. All right, let me get this video for you guys. Okay, guys, this is the video that I was talking about that I really want to break down. Um, let's listen to what Mehdi has to say because he really shines a light on this media bias that we currently have.
Since being named CBS News' editor-in-chief in October, Barry Weiss has turned the network into a soft MAGA mouthpiece, or a Fox News light, if you will. It's a shift so dramatic and so worrying that its evening news show lost more than 1 million viewers in its first week with her newly appointed anchor. From softball interviews with Donald Trump and top administration officials to pushing ICE propaganda online about Renee Good, Barry Weiss has unraveled any last bit of trust in that network. And if that isn't enough to make Walter Cronkite roll in his grave, just take a look at CBS's newest roster of contributors, which is a who's who of, at best, centrist pundits and at worst, right-wing hacks.
Before we even get to that, losing over 1 million viewers, any other network would fire you for that. But no, she is who these right-wing billionaire hacks want in that position. And she's doing exactly what they're asking for. And they don't care if they're losing viewers. The viewers that are left are the exact viewers that they want. Fucking stooges that are just gonna lap up everything that they say and just, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's do this centrist both sides bullshit. Let's let ICE walk all over us. Let's talk more about how Trump, might be doing some good stuff, even though the economy and the nation is burning around us. Yeah. Let's lie and say, well, they have some ideas there. It might be okay if Greenland becomes part of the U.S. We don't need it for these. It's not that they need it for these billionaires. This both sides bullshit. It cannot be. One side is right, one side is wrong. Period. That's it.
Take Dr. Peter Attia. Though not a board-certified physician, Dr. Attia is a so-called longevity expert who hosts a podcast about lengthening your lifespan. Attia also just so happens to be mentioned over 1,000 times in the Epstein files, even telling the late sex offender, quote, "The biggest problem with becoming friends with you, the life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul." And while Attia's CBS stint might soon be short-lived, they haven't fired him yet.
Which is insane. In this country, you can be named in the Epstein files, have emails with them saying creepy ass shit like you just saw. Oh, I can't tell people about the lifestyle that you lead. Oh, because apparently it seems like he likes it. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is... And you didn't immediately fire him? No. Gross and disgusting. That's what this shit is.
There'll be no need to fill the right-wing wellness void because Barry Weiss also hired Andrew Huberman, who's been known to parrot a little bit of pseudoscience on his podcast, The Huberman Lab, and Mark Hyman, who is conveniently a close friend and ally of the Bunkers Health and Human Service Secretary, RFK Jr. There's also Rehan Salam, who's the president of the conservative think tank, the Manhattan Institute, H.R. McMaster, who was Donald Trump's national security advisor. There's also Neil Ferguson, the conservative historian, defender of empire, and new big fawning fan of Donald Trump. Quote, "The reality is that Trump won Davos, hands down, and not only did he win it, he owned it. I've never before seen a single individual so completely dominate this vast bazaar of the powerful, the wealthy, the famous, and the self-important." That's Neil Ferguson on Donald Trump.
Can you suck him off any fucking harder? These people are deplorable. Hillary was right when she called them a basket full of deplorables. We were shocked and appalled at the time.
Davos.
But no, she was right.
And then, of course, there's also Coleman Hughes, who, like Neil Ferguson, is another free press columnist. And
fuck this guy, okay? I will do a whole nother video on this loser Coleman Hughes. But no, this dude right here, no, he's a fucking loser.
Wannabe conservative contrarian who has expressed sympathy for Derek Chauvin, the officer convicted for murdering George Floyd. Yes, these are the new faces of CBS News. 19 new contributors in total, and not a single one of them a leftist, a progressive, or a socialist. 0 out of 19.
Horrible.
I guess that's what Barry Weiss calls balance. Look, it's very easy to dunk on Weiss and CBS, but this is a bigger issue than just CBS's current right-wing shift. Because across so-called liberal media, there's a glaring absence of proper progressive voices. Take the New York Times op-ed pages, for instance. They have a lot of liberals there, yeah, centrist types, your Nick Kristofs and Ezra Kleins, and also lots of conservatives like Bret Stephens and David French and Ross Douthat. And yet for years, the Times did not have a fully leftist columnist, a Bernie Sanders voter, not a single one, until Jamel Bouie joined in 2019, and it's still just basically him. Take a look at The Atlantic magazine, arguably the US's most elite political magazine, which just poached David Brooks from the New York Times op-ed page. Brooks, who describes himself as, wait for it, a moderate Republican. Again, The Atlantic has only one out-and-out leftist columnist, Adam Serwer, in a sea of centrist liberals and moderate conservatives. How about MSNBC, the supposed left-wing network? No actual left-wing hosts in prime time, with the exception of Chris Hayes. When I was at MSNBC, I was literally the only host on air who had openly supported Bernie Sanders for president in 2016 and 2020. Since I left that network, How many openly
Shout out to
socialist or
Mehdi.
even progressive voices do you see anchoring on air on a regular basis? According to the polls, 62% of young Americans and 66% of Democrats have a positive view of socialism. So why are socialist voices absent from our mainstream media, from the liberal press? Why are they suppressed and
They're
censored?
scared.
What happened to representing Americans, having a diversity of viewpoints? Luckily, that's where Zateo comes in. When I founded Zateo, I wanted to build an independent media company that will never bend to the will of billionaires or mega corporations, nor do softball interviews or both sides coverage. I also wanted to create a media organization that represented voices from across the liberal left spectrum. And that's what I did. Yet people still ask me, Mehdi, why don't you have conservative voices on Zateo as contributors? Because that's what the rest of the media is for. They're already very well represented in the mainstream corporate control press. There's
That's the point.
dozens, hundreds of them. That's the whole point of Zateo, creating a space for voices that aren't represented in our mainstream media. From Naomi Klein, to Spencer Ackerman, to Fatima Bhutto, to John Harwood, to Owen Jones, to Taylor Lorenz, to Viet Van Nguyen, to Diana Bhutto, I could go on and on. The media may be biased against the left, but we're doing something about it. So, enough with the CBSs of the world. Come join us. Come subscribe to Zateo.
Real talk. Go ahead. Subscribe to Zateo if you can, because Zateo is freaking awesome. Also, subscribe to my channel. I'm not going to support him and not support myself. So most definitely like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I see you guys that are listening but not subscribing, or watching and not subscribing. Go ahead and just subscribe. Come on now. Yes. So please, we have to grow these left wing and independent channels and show that no, we don't want centrist slash right wing bullshit being put down our throats. No, we want real, real media giving us the honest truth. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna meet you on the bigger screen. Okay, like I was saying, we have to focus on bringing our voices together and being stronger, and truly investing in media that is not bought and paid for by conservative bullshit. That's not bought and paid for by corporations. That's not pushing a bought and paid for narrative. That's just trying to keep the people informed. And that is what I am trying to do. I am trying to call out the bullshit and show everybody what is real and what is right, and how we should combat it. I want to continue breaking down videos like this, and I want to bring more attention to organizations like this, like I did for Kyle Kalinske. I want to bring attention to Zateo, anybody and anyone else that is doing what they can, including myself. That's why I'm doing this, to show the world that we can actually bring real journalism in a real way that's not shrouded in a veil of right wing conservatism or both sides bullshit. You don't need that. I don't want to give that to you. And the world as it is does not deserve that. Period, period, period. So please help me grow this organization. Please like, follow, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, follow, subscribe to Zateo. Grow that organization, and let's dwindle these numbers to these big corporate machines. All right, guys, we can change the narrative by going to the right organizations, giving us the right narrative, and then that will be forced to be the dominant narrative. Period. We have to be too big to ignore. That is the goal, guys. All right, guys. I love you. I got another video for you guys. So stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. And please follow me across all social media. I got my podcast literally everywhere. It's on out from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, uh, everywhere. If you're not watching me on YouTube, you can go check the podcast out there. You can catch me on socials, Avery Uncensored, everywhere. All right. I love you guys. I will catch you guys on the next video.